Okay, so it's already summer, but better late than never, right? Here's April 2026 K-pop comeback review.
That's my opinion! Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you?
Backseat by Somin from CORD. This is her solo debut, and her company is on a very tight budget, hence the music video being more akin to a dance version of a K-pop music video. Despite the financial restrictions, Somin slays in this music video. The song itself, Backseat, is great. Not only is it catchy, but it also has a sexy atmosphere to it that comes off naturally to her, and the instrumental beats remind me a bit of 2000s hip-hop and pop songs. Her voice sounds great, as expected, and I feel she shows a great amount of vocal range within her debut song as well. She shows that not only can she easily produce beautiful high notes, but also is talented singing in a lower register than usual. The choreography is good too, and since Somin is currently 29 and a grown woman, unlike a lot of the idols doing twerk moves, I have nothing bad to say about it. All around, this was a fantastic solo debut that really exceeded my expectations. The only thing to note is that it was a real shame she had no opportunities to promote her solo debut on any music stages. But all around, this was a 10 out of 10 debut, and more people should check it out. Who Is She by Kiss of Life. I really like this song. Kiss of Life's musical direction really makes me think of Bratz. This just seems like a song that the Bratz girls would have sung or at least been fans of. Their voices sound great. Who Is She just sounds very cohesive and fits their more adult concept. One thing I will say is that Kiss of Life seems to be the closest 5th gen girl group that gives off a similar vibe to Sister, which was 2nd gen. I'm not saying they are the same, but the general sexy focus of the group, as well as the 4 members that Sistar had, just isn't as common in the modern days of K-pop. I feel Kiss of Life comes closest to this. Back on track, I don't really mind the choking each other choreography move that some people found really bothersome. It definitely looks better in the music video with visual effects and darker lighting, compared to music show performances where it can look a bit awkward. But to be honest, I see that dance move as unique enough that its awkwardness doesn't really bother me at all. Like I said, the song is nice to listen to, but nothing I'm super obsessed with personally. Who Is She gets an 8 out of 10. What's a Girl to Do by Dayoung. You know, this is her first comeback as a solo artist, and I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. I think with this K-pop review, at the time of this, it's late June, and I've had 2 months to really soak in songs and try to think, do I really like it? And give it a chance. And I definitely like this song. To be honest, her career as a soloist has boomed in a way that I did not think possible, because she was from GWSN, I believe. Hopefully I didn't mess up that acronym. Editor me. Well, you did. It was WJSN. But the other one I mentioned is also a group. I just got it wrong. She was in WJSN and also the subunit WJSN Chokome, but you get the idea. You know, I kind of had low hopes because of the history of the girl group that she was in, but it's been pleasantly surprising that she's so successful and her music is so loved. Her body is insane, and her dance skills are great. Her voice is amazing. I love her messy kind of look, like that kind of edgy, sexy look. It kind of gives me ex-Tina vibes from the Dirty era. Also, I would say that if I had to compare anyone to Dayoung from the past in K-pop, it would definitely be Hwalin. especially if you know the song Dali by Hwalin. Like, you know, Dayoung and Hwalin, that would be awesome to see them do a stage together. I don't think that they've done that. I'm really fond of both, and I just see that Dayoung kind of channels that grown woman, sexier energy type of thing, which, again, you know, when you reach a certain age, I'm not gonna make videos pinpointing it. A lot of people don't seem to get that I don't like when my mic cut out. I don't like when teenagers do this stuff, and I don't like when just because they hit 18 that now they're seen as a grown adult. That's just not true. A lot of people just don't get my channel, but Dayoung's a little bit older than me, so I'm not gonna critique her styling because I think she's old enough to choose. I also really love how genuinely happy Dayoung seems to be every time that she performs. Within her music videos, within the stage performances, she seems to just genuinely love being an idol and having a solo career, so that makes me appreciate her music that much more. You can tell she really loves what she's doing. I feel like with the level of effort she puts into the choreography, maintaining her fitness, the styling that her stylists have done with her, the overall general direction of her music, I really feel like this comeback is deserving of a 10 out of 10 because she had a lot of pressure mounting on her for this. Her solo debut was incredibly successful, and so when that happens, you have to follow it up with a good song. Nobody wants to be a one-hit wonder. So yeah, she did great, and this is a 10 out of 10 comeback. I really look forward to seeing her soloist career evolve. Pinky Up by Katseye. Now, I already dedicated an entire video to just analyzing this song and the music video especially, as well as the styling and the lyrics, and it's one of my most controversial videos ever, so check that out if you're interested. It'll be linked at the end cards of this video. Beware, my channel is not the typical K-pop channel. I try to say how I really feel about things. So yeah, if you're interested in my analysis of Pinky Up, I already have that video, but I've decided that if I already cover a comeback, I really don't see the point in wasting my time and covering it again in the monthly recaps. So moving on. So Cute by Hwasa. We all know Hwasa can sing and is a great performer, so I don't feel the need to mention her vocals since she's established her great talent, not only as a soloist but also as a member of Mamamoo. I love the synthwave elements within the chorus of the song. I'm really into the 80s, so I automatically like songs that heavily feature synth or just slightly feature the synthwave aspects. I've seen videos of people say that Hwasa's music video for this song features children as a way to motivate the Korean population to want kids. I don't want to say that this was definitely Hwasa's intention, but just mentioning that I've seen Koreans speculate online that this was part of the motive. From my perspective, the lyrics of "All I want is a life with some love, for me, that's enough," seems to express more of a realization that while she has experienced fame and money and glamour, she is yearning for the more simple things in life, non-materialistic things, perhaps creating a family of her own, perhaps reconnecting with her inner child again since so many idols become trainees very young and have to hyper-focus on their dreams of debuting as an idol. There's a real beauty to this song. Even as a listener who has never experienced the fame and success Hwasa has, I feel a strong relatability with the lyrics of just wanting a lovely life, and even if it's simple, that is enough for me, because I've struggled before and know I can get through it, but I just want peace. I think this is a very common way to view life as we get older. I also think the children featured in the music video could be an artistic way of her signaling that she still feels like a child in some ways despite being 30. I'm 26 and I find myself feeling this way too, so I don't think it's out there to think of that as a possible interpretation. There were also several references to her past eras. I didn't catch all of them, but I did recognize this outfit from Twit era from 2019, which I loved that song and still do, as well as the outfit she wore promoting the song I Love My Body from 2023, which a lot of people disliked, but I enjoyed it. Hwasa has such a unique aura and persona to her. She's not only cool, but also sexy, but also effortlessly chic. She's feminine in a classic way, but also pulls off the tomboy look with shorter hair and different styling. She really is an all-rounder kind of soloist, which is just great to see. For the song So Cute, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Pretty spectacular.
So cute! So cute!
Rock Solid by Taeyong, featuring Anderson Paak. Immediately, the music video is nostalgic of the MTV era of music videos, with the info in the bottom left corner and the picture quality. Of course, I did a lot of editing of these clips though. I'm not a huge fan of rap, and when I do like rap, I typically enjoy female rappers more outside of K-pop. That being said, as an NCT fan, it's hard not to love Taeyong. He's incredibly talented as an entertainer. Even in a big group setting like NCT, my eyes would naturally drift to him. He serves face, as always, and the editing of the music video is really captivating. I think it's stop-motion-esque, and the coloring/filtering of the video reminds me a lot of the bleach bypass filters I use to edit clips for these videos, so I found this music video incredibly captivating visually. I like the trashy Y2K McBling aesthetic going on, at least with the women in the video. I noticed that. And this isn't an insult. I'm really a fan of many different subcultures and visual looks, and it's cool to see this one being brought back. My favorite scenes were the ones on the boat with Taeyong in his sailor outfit. I really loved the editing of those segments in particular. It's very clear this is heavily inspired by 90s hip-hop as well as the 2000s. While this particular song isn't my style of music per se, I still appreciate it. I'll give Rock Solid an 8.2 out of 10. 15th Season by APink. This is an anniversary comeback celebrating 15 years as a group. Although some of the original members have left the group over the years, it's still remarkable how long they've managed to stay active in such a fast-paced industry like K-pop. My bias is Dayoung, so I'm glad that she's still in the lineup. What I love about second-gen groups is that they could actually sing. And let's be honest, there's numerous groups promoting currently that have members that struggle to stay in tune, despite having years of vocal training to improve. Do you want me to name names? Sserafim. All the members of APink have stunning voices that are easily identifiable. This ballad gives off a vibe of an emotional anime closing song. It's clearly a thank you to the fans for allowing their career to last this long by continuing to support them throughout the years and numerous other generations of K-pop debuting. I also like the cute editing of the music video and how most of it is just behind the scenes footage of the Love Me More music video, numerous photo shoots, or being backstage at music shows. It kind of makes you wonder how many other groups could have potentially had success if their company had had this much faith in them to endure. It really makes you think. Could some of the disbanded groups have had this kind of success? I think yes. I think a lot of companies give up way too soon on groups if they're not doing well. Not saying that APink wasn't successful, but just saying. As for the song, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. That doesn't take away from the meaning of the song. It's really touching and gives the energy that an anniversary song needs to give. The member Bomi also got married recently. I believe if it wasn't this year, it was late last year. And I'm glad that the APink fandom seems to be more normal in the sense that they seem happy for her, as am I, compared to people that sent protest trucks like some idols in EXO, for example, have experienced when they themselves got married. All in all, APink is great, their discography is amazing, and they have 15 years of music to listen to, so there's plenty to love. It's really awesome to see that their company believed in them for this long. It's really heartwarming to see. REDRED by CORTIS. I've been a fan of CORTIS since debut, when I am known to be very picky when it comes to liking boy groups. Something about this group is easy for me to get into. When I first heard this song back in April, I thought, maybe I don't like it all that much. But giving it some time and now watching the music video, I see this as a fun song that's easy to dance to. I was bopping my head around listening to it. REDRED is extremely catchy but not annoying. I like how the music video is very chaotic and fast-paced, rather than overly polished and curated, which would be expected in a K-pop music video. I think CORTIS' musical direction seems so chill, and even their styling and behavior in this music video, for instance, gives off the vibe that they're just young guys having fun making music, not snobby celebrities. I know that they are still curated because they're a K-pop group, but the vibe they give off is very natural and boyish, but not childlike. I really like the electronic elements within the instrumental, as well as some gaming sounds that are reminiscent of an arcade. Overall, I really like CORTIS, so I see myself keeping up with their comebacks in the future. Like I said in the Dayoung portion of the video, it's most entertaining when idols look like they are genuinely enjoying their job. Of course, everybody has off days or has bad moods. I understand that. CORTIS just seems so cohesive and natural as a group, despite being celebrities. I think they aren't as hyper-fixated on appearing perfect, and part of the group's image is being intentionally unpolished. I also like the restaurant as the main setting for the music video, and I love the choreography. It's very fun to watch. REDRED is fun to dance around to, so it gets a 9.5 out of 10. UNCHILD by UNCHILD. I only really heard about this group's debut due to one of the members being well known amongst K-pop stans from the late 2010s, Haeun. Here are some older clips of her as a child dancing at Korean award shows. So if you are a third-gen stan, you likely recognized her or at least recall how popular she was around the late 2010s. As for the group name UNCHILD, I find it odd. I mean, I get it. It's like, oh, they're gonna age like everybody else and eventually not be kids. But I still feel it doesn't quite sound right to say out loud, and it doesn't seem like a long-lasting name. As for their overall aesthetic, I really adore how colorful their concept is. It's very 2010s neon Tumblr party vibes, if that makes sense. If you know, you know. Especially if you're older Gen Z, you probably get what I'm talking about. I'll insert some examples here. I don't think groups should be judged too harshly for their debut because one would hope as a listener that their comebacks produce better music and the peak hasn't already occurred for them. That being said, while I adore the colorful hair and styling, I am not a fan of the song and I find it very forgettable, to be honest. I tend to always say this for new groups I'm interested in, but I look forward to see their subsequent releases and how their discography ends up sounding and evolving over time. I also think this group generally appeals more so to high schoolers, so I'm definitely out of that age bracket, but come on. Every K-pop fan eventually experiences this, where all of a sudden idols are debuting that are all younger than you. Believe it or not, it's going to happen in a blink of an eye. Sad, but true. While the song UNCHILD isn't interesting to me, I can appreciate their memorable look in this day and age where, in the 5th gen, having monotone black hair is the norm. Whereas with 2nd gen, for example, the aesthetics were a bit more out there and experimental. I tend to favor more eccentric looks personally. I think UNCHILD could actually be even more out there with their look. Perhaps some punk hairstyles like even a mohawk. I don't know. They definitely have the room to experiment as time goes on. Their vocals don't sound bad or anything, but even with multiple listens to the song over 2 months, it just doesn't grow on me, and it feels like it solely serves as an introductory song, rather than something to be generally memorable as well. For example, Black Mamba is aespa's debut song from 2020. That was not only a powerful debut song, but also 6 years later is memorable and fun to listen to. I don't think it's bad to have a more forgettable debut track, as long as the releases following it improve with time. If it were solely rating the music video, it would get a 9 out of 10. But for the song, honestly, I give UNCHILD by UNCHILD a 3 out of 10. This doesn't mean they sound awful or anything, but just that it's not good enough to be remembered or praised all that much. This is very subjective, and it's only their debut, so it's not an evaluation of the group as a whole just yet. It's simply too early to make a conclusion on them. Time will tell. I will say that this group seems slightly similar to Kiki, which I'm a huge fan of, so I'll cover their follow-up comebacks to see if I like them enough to stan or not. I also want to note that Ako and Yvonne or Evon stick out to me the most during their debut track.
I say this because I've noticed that I tend to favor the more underdog members of groups that eventually with time become more praised, such as me favoring Ning Ning from aespa since debut era, and now in 2026, 6 years later, she's very much stand and extremely popular compared to her debut era. So yeah, UNCHILD by UNCHILD gets a 3 out of 10, but there's always room to improve. This is just their debut. Moving on.
Celebration by Sserafim. A lot of people really hated this release, which shocked me, to be honest. I think it's a really fun song. I just don't really enjoy the music video. The zombie guy kind of freaks me out, and I don't like the atmosphere of it. I also think the choreography for this looks a bit funny, but I saw this dance collab video on their group page and saw this male idol on the right, and I have no idea who he is, but he slayed this choreo so much that I just had to include him. For Celebration, I think it might have made a bit more sense to promote it around New Year's time or Lunar New Year due to the lyrics, but also because of the styling and music video, this made more sense as a Halloween comeback. My bias is Chaeyeon, but I really think Yoonjin stood out by a long shot, and this sort of vibe really suits her. I love the faux eyebrow piercing too. It looks so good, and it makes me miss when I had a real eyebrow piercing 4 years ago. I also really enjoy the vampire party girl vibe the styling has for Celebration era, and I see this song as an improvement from Spaghetti last year, which I really disliked. I think this song genuinely suits the Sserafim's overall discography and sound, so I found it easy to vibe with. One last thing about the choreo is that clearly it was not safe for the idols because Chaeyeon got injured and had to go on hiatus because of it. For Celebration, I give it an 8.1 out of 10. No Tears on the Dance Floor by Lee Chaeyeon. I love Chaeyeon as a soloist, so it's always great to hear new music from her. I could be wrong, but this song comes off to me as a song about feeling happiest when she is on stage dancing and having a comeback, or just generally performing as an entertainer because, quote, "there's nothing left to wait for," as one of the lyrics says. This song isn't that enjoyable for me though, so it was a bit of a letdown as a big fan of Chaeyeon's discography. I find this song very forgettable compared to her other work, so I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10, though I enjoyed the music video. Crescendo by NMIXX. I just really don't vibe with NMIXX's releases usually. This music video is really gorgeous though. I have to praise it. Genuinely, I love NMIXX's music videos, and this one is just so beautiful. I can see myself rewatching it just for the visuals. The general vibe is so pretty, it makes me both happy and sad at the same time. But the song itself just isn't for me. I don't know how to explain it. I've realized that I just simply don't like the majority of NMIXX's songs. But when I am into their releases, I find myself loving the comeback. So it's hit or miss every single time with them when it comes to me, which is a shame because they have had such a beautiful creative direction in their styling and artistic music videos. For Crescendo, I'll give it a 4 out of 10 simply because I'm not into it. It's May by ILLIT. Last but not least, this was the comeback I was most looking forward to, and it came out on my 26th birthday. At first listen, I wasn't sure I liked it, but now that it's been a few months, I'm super into it. It's so upbeat, and I heard that The Deep even helped produce this song, so that made me like it even more. Mocha is my bias, but Yuna's smooth vocals really stood out to me. Seriously, she has a beautiful tone in this song. The choreography at first I also didn't like because of the vigorous leg tapping moves. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's really grown on me as well. The choreography is super upbeat and reminds me of Jellius era, which I really loved. Mocha was gone for most of the "It's May" era due to a health hiatus, but suddenly returned for a few stage performances. I think she probably pushed herself to be able to experience this era on stage rather than only being part of the music video. I don't know if she was teary-eyed on stage here because the era was coming to an end or if it's just her health. I think it's likely a combination of both, but more so the former. This dance has such sharp movements and gives the members basically no breaks to catch their breath fully. It's genuinely so impressive as a K-pop stan watching them perform It's Me. I really adore this era now. I'll give this era a 9.8 out of 10 since it took a bit to grow on me. I think a 10 out of 10 should be a song that I love immediately. Now, onto the rankings for April 2026 K-pop comebacks. Going from my least favorite to my most favorite comeback, 12, UNCHILD by UNCHILD. 11, Crescendo by NMIXX. 10, No Tears on the Dance Floor by Chaeyeon. 9, 15th Season by APink. 8, Who Is She by Kiss of Life. 7, Celebration by Sserafim. 6, Rock Solid by Taeyong. 5, So Cute by Hwasa. 4, REDRED by CORTIS. 3, It's Me by ILLIT. 2, What's a Girl to Do by Dayoung. And number 1, Backseat by Somin. Thanks so much for watching, especially if you made it this far, which I'm sure almost none of you did because I can see my watch time. But thank you so much, even just for clicking on the video. If you made it this far, feel free to leave a birthday cake emoji down below. And yeah, let me know, what were your favorite comebacks of April? I know it's July now, but you know, I was in a bit of a mental slump, still kind of am, but wanted to push myself to get this video done. Soon enough, I'll start on the May monthly review and of course June, and I'll try to be a bit better with my uploads. Thank you so much for over 1,800 subscribers. It's really awesome. I appreciate the support. Yeah, see you in the next video.